This video is sponsored by TOYHAX. The Transformers we get these days are absolutely incredible, but it seems like every year Hasbro skimps out on more and more paint. Thankfully, TOYHAX has you covered. They make premium and easy to apply sticker sets for the newest Transformers, including the star of today's video, Powerglide. This toy is amazing, but he's missing some essential details, like his cockpit window isn't even fully painted. But you can upgrade an amazing figure into a mini masterpiece with these stickers. Look, fully colored cockpit windows. And somehow they made his eyes look better. I don't even know how you do that with stickers, but they did it. Powerglide is just one of hundreds of toys you can upgrade with TOYHAX. Check out the link below to buy some awesome stickers. And by the way, they're selling the Powerglide set for just 1 cent right now. I don't even know how that's financially viable. Flying Autobots are a rare sight, and Powerglide knows it, leading to his pompous and braggadocious attitude, though he can back up the talk with action, being an incredible pilot and brave warrior. And he also might be the first Autobot to fall in love with a human. This is the legacy of Powerglide. What's good, internet? Jake here, dumb as ever, and welcome to my new series, where I explore the lore and toy history of different characters in the Transformers franchise. It should go without saying that this series is very inspired by several other YouTubers, including Chris McFeely and Ron Bon Dujan. Shoutouts to them, but I wanted to tackle these concepts in my own dumbjake style. I also want to become more versed in the lore and history of Transformers myself, and making these videos feels like a fun and creative way to do that. Our first episode is about Powerglide, one of the Season 2 mini-bots introduced in 1985. Powerglide normally transforms into an A-10 Thunderbolt, which is easily one of the coolest military planes ever. That huge wingspan, narrow body, and giant back turbines create an iconic image. Throughout almost all of Powerglide's iterations, he's retained both his G1 look and alt mode, which is exceedingly rare for such an old character. We've got plenty to discuss regarding Powerglide, so let's hop into the lore and toy history of this braggart bombardier. Oh, also, if you want me to cover any characters in particular, please let me know in the comments. Obviously, I have my own list of characters I'm interested in, but I would love some suggestions as well. Powerglide was introduced in 1985, the second year of the Transformers franchise. He first appeared in Season 2 of the show, along with a slew of other new characters. They all pretty much show up in Episode 14, which is titled Dinobot Island Part 1, and they show up without any explanation whatsoever, almost as if they were always there just off screen or something. Powerglide does appear in this episode. He and Bumblebee are actually the Autobots that discover Dinobot Island, but Powerglide surprisingly appeared in an earlier episode as well. At the end of Episode 11, titled A Prime Problem, Powerglide appears out of nowhere, saving Spike from falling to his death. There's no explanation of why he's there or where he came from. Powerglide has a brash, showboating attitude. He's one of the few Autobots that can fly after all, so he's always flexing his abilities. And to say he has an ego is underselling it a bit.
What do you know about Powerglide?
Oh, he's okay. Kind of a blowhard, if you know what I mean.
He's also known for his catchphrase, "And away we go." In Season 2, there were many spotlight episodes for different characters, Powerglide being one of them. Episode 38 is titled The Girl Who Loved Powerglide. In the episode, we meet Astoria Carlton Ritz, the CEO of Hybrid Technologies, who is a surprisingly young woman. Her birthday party is attacked by the Coneheads, who are attempting to kidnap her. Powerglide happens to fly by and saves the day. Astoria instantly develops an intense crush on Powerglide, to which he does not reciprocate at all. In fact, he throws her on the concrete floor because she annoys him so much. Careful, man, she's a human, she's made of flesh. You can't just throw her on the floor like that. Powerglide is a total tsundere this episode, rejecting Astoria's advances and acting like he hates her. And I can't blame him. She's written to come off as a bit vapid and annoying, and she's only the CEO of a big tech company because her father passed away. Classic nepotism hire moment. After a fun day at the park, the Coneheads show up again. This time they're able to damage Powerglide, and they kidnap Astoria. It turns out that the Decepticons want her because her father had created a secret energy formula, and they believe she has it. This episode is funny as hell. Megatron pretty much just gets rage baited by Astoria for a solid 10 minutes. She has this weird character trait of technology not working around her, so all of Megatron's torture devices are malfunctioning. Powerglide is of course able to save Astoria, foiling the Decepticons' evil plans. Even though Powerglide is such a tsundere, he finds finally admits at the end of the episode that he wants to see her again, and the little lights in his chest form a heart. Aw, how cute. Remember when he bounced her off the pavement like a basketball? Astoria wouldn't be seen again after this episode, though she has surprisingly shown up in Skybound's Energon universe of all things. So far, she's mostly appeared in the Destro miniseries. In this universe, Astoria is very similar to her G1 counterpart. She takes over hybrid technology from her late father, though she's much more competent in this universe, and participates in illegal arms dealing. In an interesting twist, Astoria turns out to be the villain Chameleon. Just like the original character, technology malfunctions around her, but she can control it, the power being a result of her father experimenting on her. Kind of a dark twist. By the end of the Destro miniseries, she and Destro are in a relationship, now working for the Cobra Commander. I think this is a really cool twist on a kinda random character, and who knows, maybe Powerglide will be Mr. Steel Yo Girl in this universe. The girl who loved Powerglide was the Flying Autobots main spotlight episode, but I did also want to highlight episode 39, Hoist Goes Hollywood. As the name suggests, Hoist is offered a role in a movie after he saves a stunt crew, but Powerglide as well as several other Autobots get jealous, so they crash the movie shoot, wanting to also be included in the film. The director lets them, but only uses them in vehicle mode for stunt scenes. The Autobots are angered by this and quit. It's so funny, they're like little kids with how they act. Eventually the director gets them to come back by giving them roles as alien invaders, complete with bizarre masks. Powerglide was not amused by this. Powerglide was not in Transformers the movie, meaning he was spared from horrific death. As for the Marvel Generation 1 comic book universe, Powerglide first showed up in issue 17, titled The Smelting Pool. Unlike the cartoon, the comic book actually explains where some of the 1985 cast comes from. The second wave of Minibots, Blaster, and Perceptor were stuck on Cybertron, where the Decepticons have taken over and turned the planet into a living nightmare, destroying any non-Decepticon bots they see, and dumping their bodies into the smelting pool for raw material. This was almost Blaster's fate, but he was saved by none other than Powerglide. In the following issue, Powerglide and the rest of the crew are eventually able to escape Cybertron via Space Bridge. After that issue, our flying Autobot doesn't have much of a presence story-wise. In issue 50, Powerglide is shot out of the sky, and in issue 60, it's confirmed that Powerglide died in that battle. Powerglide also appeared in Dreamwave's Transformers Generation 1 universe, though he was limited to minor appearances. Powerglide was also in IDW's original Transformers universe. He spent some time aboard the spaceship known as the Lost Light, though later on he would leave the crew, staying on Cybertron. Most notably, he joined the Aerialbots Combiner team, transforming into Superion's Blaster. He would also briefly appear in the 2019 IDW reboot, though again he was mostly a background character. Powerglide would also appear as a background character in Transformers Animated. As a general rule, Autobots cannot fly in the animated universe, so instead he was turned into some sort of treaded vehicle, though he is still an ace pilot. Powerglide does have a Shattered Glass counterpart, though he's only appeared in a written story called Do-Over. True to the nature of Shattered Glass, this version of Powerglide hates flying, so it makes a lot of sense that he turns into a plane. He isn't visually described, but the writers imagined him with a color scheme based on the Cobra Rattler, a G.I. Joe toy that was based off the A-10 Thunderbolt just like Powerglide. This eventually happened when the Combiner Wars Powerglide was repainted into Viper. Obviously he isn't called Shattered Glass Powerglide, but we can use our imagination and pretend. The most recent media featuring Powerglide was Transformers 1, though only his name appeared on the Iacon 5000 race scoreboard. For a character that's been around since year 2 of the franchise, Powerglide has had shockingly little representation, and the media he does appear in relegates him to a background character. I do hope he shows up in the Energon universe. It would be really cool if he had a storyline involving Astoria, which I think is very possible, because like I said, Cobra also has an A-10 Thunderbolt style vehicle, so maybe Powerglide will go undercover and form a connection with Astoria. That would be a really cool storyline. But that's it for Powerglide's lore. Now it's time to talk toys. If you're enjoying this video, please consider liking and subscribing. It helps me out a lot, and it will promote the video in the algorithm. Powerglide's first toy was released as a part of the 1985 mini vehicle assortment of the Transformers toy line. Many of the first Transformers toys came from Japanese toy lines, like Diaclone and Microchange. change. Powerglide might have been in development for a future micro-change release, but was shifted to the Transformers after the success of the line in America. I don't believe that this has been confirmed by any sources though, just speculation based on the timeline of the releases. Powerglide being a mini vehicle meant he's quite small, the size of Bumblebee for example. His alternate form is a chibi-fied A10 Thunderbolt. Instead of a normal Autobot symbol, he has a rub sign that reveals it when heat is applied. This original toy has been reissued once. In a Minibot 6-pack released as a part of the Japanese exclusive Transformers Collection series of G1 toy reissues. This reissue has a regular Autobot insignia in addition to his rub sign. It was also repainted into Bad Boy from GoBots, released as part of a repainted version of the 6-pack. Powerglide would receive his first new toy in 2008, 23 years after 1985. And let's just say he's been drinking his milk, because oh boy, this mini-bot grew up into an ultra-class size Transformer, released as part of the Transformers Universe toy line, which reimagined classic G1 characters. In this case, Powerglide was reimagined as a giant warrior, though he still retains his A10 Thunderbolt vehicle mode. This version of Powerglide is off-white with red accents, though the Japanese version has colors much closer to his usual look. The toy is unfortunately top-heavy with skinny legs and small feet, and like many Transformers of the time, he has electronic lights and sounds. As a fun reference to the original show, you can lift up his chest plate and reveal a little sculpted heart. This figure would receive a Walmart exclusive repaint, again giving him a G1 accurate color scheme, and it would also be repainted into the Decepticon Storm Cloud. In 2011, Powerglide would receive a movie universe toy, released as a part of the Dark of the Moon toy line. Powerglide was a Cyberverse Commander class, meaning he was a smaller scale figure. While his design was movie-fied, this version of Powerglide is still shockingly similar to his G1 look, which is a rarity with movie designs, and he even still transforms into an A10 Thunderbolt. I really dig the movie look for this guy. Even though I covered the Dark of the Moon toy line, I somehow completely missed this guy's existence, so this was a fun surprise for me. In 2012, Powerglide would receive a Bot Shots figure, which were little gimmick toys that had a battle game. They're kinda like the Transformers version of Bakugan. Since they need to roll for the game, Powerglide turns into a chubby A10 Thunderbolt with very noticeable wheels. In 2013, a Creo version of Powerglide was released, in the form of a Creon Micro Changer, which featured a minifigure of the character, and you could transform it into an extremely vague approximation of a jet. Powerglide would receive another mainline figure in 2015, released as a Legends class in the Combiner Wars toy line. This toy is a very faithful update of his G1 design. He retains his normal modes, but he can also transform into a blaster for Superion, though he's a bit heavy and the Combiner has a hard time holding him up. This figure was repainted several times. He was released in a box set of aerial bots in G2 inspired color schemes. Powerglide never had a G2 toy, so his color scheme is made up for the box set. He was also repainted and retooled into Viper, a Decepticon with a color scheme inspired by the Cobra Rattler vehicle from G.I. Joe. You could also use this figure as a stand-in for Shattered Glass Powerglide. This figure was also repainted for the Transformers Adventure toy line, which was the Japanese version of 2015's Robots in Disguise, and included several Japanese exclusive figures, one of which being the Combiner Wars Powerglide, though his only real change was the QR code version of the Autobot symbol, which was used for a mobile app at the time. Viper would also be repainted for this line, turned into a blue Autobot called Dogfight. I really dig Dogfight's color scheme. Finally, in 2026, we have Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Powerglide. This is likely the best modern version of Powerglide. His robot mode looks extremely accurate to the show, and his vehicle mode mostly reminds me of his original toy. Powerglide's chest can open up, revealing a heart just like in his Spotlight episode. They did a great job with the paint. He also comes with this bizarre alien mask, which is a reference to the episode Hoist Goes Hollywood, as I previously mentioned. This was an accessory I was really confused by when I first saw it, but after seeing the episode, I think it's cute. I have to wonder if they're planning on releasing new versions of the other characters from that episode. Sunstreaker seems unlikely since he recently got an SS-86 release, but Warpath, Trax, and Hoist could potentially get new toys in the future that also work with this mask gimmick. Or this could just be a fun one-off thing for Powerglide. Only time will tell, but I'm looking forward to the future. Learning about Powerglide's history was so fun. I really enjoyed his Spotlight episode, which is good because this guy hasn't gotten much of a spotlight since. It's so surprising because he's such an old character, and he's fairly unique as a flying autobot. Since there's like 500 Transformers characters, it's not that crazy for one to slip through the cracks. But still, I hope Powerglide gets some time to shine in the future. Thanks for watching. Thank you to TOYHAX for sponsoring this video. Please check out the link below to upgrade your Transformers with some badass stickers. Thanks to all of my video sources. All of their channels and videos are linked below. I encourage you to go subscribe to them, and check out their full reviews on any figure you found interesting. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing. And if you'd like to support me further, I have a YouTube membership and Patreon. For $1 a month, both give you the same thing: an invite to my super chill Discord server, where we talk about toys daily and have weekly Transformers watch parties. We're watching through Generation 1 Season 2 right now, and the episodes are so good. I'm actually falling in love with G1, which is crazy because, I always thought it was kind of a cheesy, dumb cartoon, but I can now see why it became so freaking popular. As a member or patron, you also get access to my infrequent members exclusive podcast, where I sit down with other content creators to talk toys. Alright, I'll see y'all in the next one. Ciao.